Okay, today we are playing a game on Ilios. We are in the gold SR range, and we will be playing 2 rounds as D.Va and 1 round as Zarya. We are also on the console, by the way, today, so consider yourself forewarned. Current team composition is Reinhardt, D.Va, Pharah, Reaper, Mercy, and Moira, which is fine. Mercy being the off-healer in this team, which is fine, because we've got the Pharah, so she can go off and have a great time pocketing Pharah. Little unusual to see D.Va with Reinhardt, because usually you'd see D.Va with Winston more than anything else, but there's no reason you can't play D.Va with Reinhardt. D.Va being just sort of blanketly pretty good as far as off-tanks go. Remember when D.Va used to be a main tank right after they changed how Defense Matrix worked? Good times, good times. Anyway, let's just start the game. So we're on Lighthouse first, so something to watch for. There's a pretty good chance they've got a Pharah as well on this map, which will be of concern to us as D.Va, seeing as we have to try and fight the Pharah. But what we see instead is they've got a Bridget, Reaper, and a Lucio over here, and a Doomfist we just caught a glimpse of over there as well. So it's very risky to just walk right at them right now, because they've got a lot of crowd control over there. We can see that Doomfist's charging up his punch, and indeed we get stunned, and then before we are unstunned, we have lost our mech. Because they've got a lot of crowd control over there. They've also got a Roadhog, I'm pretty sure. Roadhog over there? Pretty sure they have a Roadhog. They've got a lot of crowd control, either way. So walking right up to them is... Yep, there's Roadhog in the kill feed right there. So they've got a lot of crowd control. D.Va, Doomfist, and Roadhog, which is upsetting to us as a diver. We've have to worry about that. Team that's a little awkward to play D.Va against, but it's also a team that will be awkward to play most tanks against. So life is sort of difficult that way sometimes. Okay, a lot happened right there. So Reaper managed to get the Mercy. So I was thinking, man, we'd probably be better off playing Zarya during this round, because most of our there's nobody really good to like dive on their team. Orisa would basically be the best one to dive as far as it goes, so pretty much we'll spend a lot of our time like trying to keep other people alive from their comp instead, and Zarya is not necessarily better than D.Va at that, because it sort of depends on the team comp, but Zarya is going to be better against a team that's like Doomfist and Roadhog, because you can just bubble the people that they try and kill, and then hopefully they don't kill them anymore. Reaper will be a problem for no matter who we pick. Reaper's going to be a problem for us as a tank. Reaper being just kind of that way. Doomfist, there he is. Okay, we kind of lost track of him for a second, but he was definitely still back there. So Doomfist and Bridget just got picked off, so it's a 4v6 now. So we just want to get in there and start fighting people. Didn't need to use Death Blossom and Barrage on this. I'm iffy on even needing to use Barrage, to be honest with you, given the position we were in, but whatever, she used Barrage. Reaper definitely didn't need to use Death Blossom, so we ended up overexpending some resources on that. We've got Self-Destruct now. Not a great map for Self-Destruct. There's a lot of things the enemy team can use for cover, unless they, like, really fuck up. So I would have just used Self-Destruct here, basically just to get another mech. Because at this point, team fights happening. They're at 83% right now. We don't really get the luxury of another good attempt at a team fight, basically. And it's just more important we're in a mech when the team fight starts, rather than saving our ultimate. Because it's not like Self-Destruct is looking like it's going to get us many kills in this game. Well, I mean, Self-Destruct, you're always lucky when Self-Destruct kills someone, usually. Unless you're comboing it with somebody. Or you do a lot of math. But it was just more important to be in mech right there for when that team fight actually started. When Doomfist shot past us, also, he was very low health and only went to a small health kit, so we could have gone after him a little bit more aggressively to try and finish him off before he could heal. And so, yeah, we saved Self-Destruct, and it got us 1 kill on the Reaper, so There are situations where it is just worth throwing self-destruct on the ground just to get another mech, just because D.Va in mech is a hero, D.Va out of mech is not a hero, and you have to actually get your mech back before you can really contribute again. So we're going to change to Zarya for this round, and then we change back to D.Va again during the next round. Yeah, I think D.Va's better overall. Just for... Oh, I don't like when people change Zarya's default crosshair, to be honest with you. Just because I like Zarya's default crosshair a lot. Just seeing the circle fill up, feels real good, you know? Feels real good. Also, I don't really like this crosshair in general. This is extraordinarily nitpicky, but, like... I don't like these, like, really big crosshairs. I always just like the really, like... small crosshairs for the most part, because there's less like visual noise there to distract you. And here I am going like, hey, you know what's really good? Zarya's default crosshair, the busiest crosshair in the entire game. Something like this is just not very precise compared to the other crosshairs, but I mean, it's all personal preference at the end of the day, isn't it? So we have a Junkrat now. Given that their team comp is very like knit together, Junkrat's pretty good against that. Anytime they have, like, an Orisa, they're always going to want to sit pretty much, like, right next to each other. Junkrat's really good for punishing that. Self-Destruct's also good for that, because it can either, like, force them away, or, like, force them even more together, and then you can hopefully, punish them for that one. So Reaper's behind us. Did we see Reaper at any point previous to this? Nobody is shooting behind us right now. So we actually could have known he was here a little bit ahead of time, because that's Reaper shooting behind us right now. And we backed up right into him. We did see... I saw and heard Reaper... I saw Reaper's pellets coming over us and heard him shooting behind us, so... We could have known he was behind us a little bit more ahead of time. Mercy rezzed us, but unfortunately she paid for it with her life. But then we focused down the Reaper and all's well. So Reinhardt's up here getting real bullied, and that's like... his problem, like, his mistake, honestly, going up here fighting this group of people. And then, he just kind of ends up in a bad spot, pretty much. But he did get the Bridget. He did get the Bridget. It's just a bunch of people that are going to bully the shit out of Reinhardt, you know? He doesn't really want anything to do with this. So, I don't like that we bubbled her right now. Because the ultimate goal of using the bubbles is to block damage and get some ult charge. It doesn't look like Moira's gonna be getting shot at in the next little while right here, because the bubbles don't last very long, right? Like, nobody's focusing her right now. And right now we're low charge as well. We're at 27 charge, so we really want to, like, get some charge built up right now. Here's just a blanket tip for how to use Zarya's bubble. The projected one more than the personal one, because the personal one you can do some more stuff with, but... You're always gonna get some charge off of bubbling someone if you wait until they start taking damage first. Because, for a few reasons. First off, it's harder to stop yourself firing once you've already started. Whereas, if they haven't started yet, they just go, oh, wait, okay, now I start shooting. But more than that, like... They aren't going to react frame 1 that the bubble appears on them and stop firing. So if you just wait for someone to start taking damage and then bubble them, you'll always get some ult charge. And because you're definitely going to block at least some damage. So you'll always get some ult charge. The personal bubble, you can apply the same logic to it, but it's a little bit easier to get the charge off your own bubble, because you can always bubble yourself and then walk across somebody's line of sight. Whereas the projected one, not so much, because you can't tell what the other person's gonna do. But that'll always get you some ult charge, at the very least. Now, you can take that too far the other way, because if, like, you see Genji jumping in front of Mercy with Dragon Blade out, well, we can assume he's probably going to cut the Mercy in the next second or two, so we can just put the bubble on her before she starts taking damage, you know. And also, like, if there's crowd control there, that can mess with it as well, because you have to worry about if the person's going to get crowd controlled. Though if they get hooked, bubble the person and hopefully they survive. If they get hooked, they fucked up, really. But hey, if they've got crowd control, you have to think about that as well. But that'll always get you some charge. Because what I always notice with people when they play Zarya is that they will put the bubble on somebody predicting that the person will take damage, and then the person often ends up taking no damage, or very minimal damage. And then Zarya is very sad, because she just used her cooldown and got, like, no ult charge, or like 5% ult charge out of it, and that's a very bad value for a cooldown right there, because the projected barrier is an 8-second cooldown. If you don't get, like, anything off of it, that's pretty sad, you know? So people always try to predict it, which usually ends up in not getting any charge. Whereas if you use it a little bit more reactively, you'll always get some ult charge, or some energy at the very least. So, now, or like if you see, you know, other things, if you see Doomfist uppercut someone, the person he uppercuts is about to take damage, you can just kind of assume on that one. So we got hooked right there. When did we bubble? Ourselves, because now we can't use our bubble right there. We used it right there. Look, Doomfist might have gone for us, because he did just jump into a few different people, so fair enough. We didn't bubble Reaper when he got punched. No, so it is one of those times where, like, if he uppercuts somebody, he's gonna shoot them right afterwards, so trying to bubble the Reaper right there is a pretty good time to bubble him. Because it's just one of those things where, like, Roadhog hooks someone, he's gonna shoot them. Doomfist uppercuts them, he's gonna shoot them. So then you can just put it on them right there before they take the actual damage. Because that's, like, their kill maneuver, right? You hook them, you uppercut them, you shoot them. So the team fight didn't go particularly well. It's alright, we got plenty of time. I can hear Roadhog using the Rudy Tooty Whizbang Shooty off in the distance, so hey, at least they used an ultimate, I guess. We're fairly close to having Graviton, which is of course a very good ultimate. This is not our Bridget. She just fucking pushed her way right through everyone, didn't she? Not recommended. Didn't end terribly well for her. Oh, who did we bubble? Who did we bubble? Okay, so who did we bubble back here, first off, and then who did we bubble secondarily? So there, we just put it on someone, like, hoping they take damage again, because we didn't even really know who it was gonna go on in this mess of people. So, like, that's a very optimistic use of the bubble, and it resulted in us getting no charge. So then, who do we bubble right here? We bubble Reinhardt. Looks like he's about to take damage, so that's fair enough. Unfortunately, Reaper does this right after we used our bubble on Reinhardt. When did we bubble? We bubbled here? Yeah, we bubbled here. Okay. Unfortunately, we just bubbled Reinhardt. It did look like he was about to take damage, so that's fair enough. It looked like he was about to, like, take more damage. But then, unfortunately, you know, he did take some damage, but unfortunately Reaper came around and spammed, which means we couldn't use it on one of our supports instead. You can only make the decision based off what you see in front of you. You know, if Reinhardt looks like he's about to get shot a bunch, you're gonna put the bubble on him. Alright, so there was a network error. That's very exciting, isn't it? Let's refresh the page, I guess. Fantastic. Let's look through on the timeline. This is not far enough forward. This is about right. This is about right. This is where he spins on us. Yes, okay. Great, awesome. We run a professional operation around here. It wasn't my fault, it was Twitch's fault. Fuck Twitch. So that team fight didn't go very well. It's okay. Reaper used his ultimate. I don't think anybody on our team used any ultimates. I didn't hear any. So it's fine. No, we got a lot of ultimates we saw right there. If you're playing Zarya, just check, like, what other people's ult charge is at frequently, because she's one of those heroes. Her and Anna, you really want to know what your teammates' ult charge is at, because what their ult charge is at depends on what you're going to do, dictates what you're going to do with your ultimate, right? Because Anna and Zarya have two very big combo ultimates, so just, like, check ult charge frequently as these heroes. In general, just, like, check what your teammates' ult charge is at quite frequently, but, like, particularly for Zarya and Anna, they need to know, like, what other people's ult charge is at to know how they're going to use theirs. So who did we bubble right here? We bubbled, not a lot's happening right now. We are about to push in, but, like, I would rather wait a little bit to use the bubble right there as well. So Doomfist behind, what a mess. Good heavens. So, yep. We're real low. Really don't want to die. We're not going to die. We've been healed up enough at this point. Bridget sure is annoying, isn't she? Isn't she just annoying to try and kill? That's why I'm a big fan of playing Bridget. So, here's Boostio. Oh, there goes Reinhardt. Yeah. At this point, Reinhardt actually can't get pushed into much damage, so I don't want to bubble him right now. Like, yeah, he just got pushed into these people, so that's very unfortunate, you know, very sad for him, oh no. But, like, it's not gonna matter that much. Both of their DPS are dead right now, so there's, like, no chance he gets pushed into anything that's gonna do a huge amount of damage to him. So we could wait and see what the situation is, rather than just bubble him immediately. I've just noticed that we don't have allied health bars turned on. You can turn that on the console, right? Allied health bars? Surely you can. That would be weird if you couldn't. Turn allied health bars on, especially for someone like Zarya. You want it on in general, because you need to know where your teammate's health is at. But, like, Zarya, if you see someone is at, like, 2 hit points, you know, you're more inclined to just bubble that person to make sure they survive, more than anything else. Whereas if you see somebody's at full health, then, you know, you're less likely to bubble them. So that seeing your allied health bars is pretty important for someone like Zarya, because that determines, like, what you'll do with your projected barrier as well. Because if you see someone running back with 30 hit points, yeah, I'll bubble that man to make sure he doesn't die while he's running back to us, you know? Surely you can turn that on the console. I've never actually played on the console, so I wouldn't know for certain, but that would be very weird if you couldn't. So, Bridget's, we've come to help with this situation, because Mercy was having a sad time back here with Bridget, countercharged each other. Could have punched her to finish her off, it looked like. She dropped pretty low. She dropped, you know, just, like, go up on that lady. Just, like, get right up in her face and then punch her to finish her off. She dropped really low. She died regardless, but, yeah. Zarya is one of these heroes where, like, if you right-click them or punch them to finish them off, you can get, you can just kill them a little bit faster. Because if you laser them to death, I mean, if you're really high charge, kind of doesn't matter that much anymore, because your laser does a lot of fucking damage if you're really high energy, but, in general, if you're, like, got a damage over time effect, like Zarya's laser, Winston's Tesla cannon, if you can punch the person to finish them off, or right-click in Zarya's case, it just, you burst down that last bit of health a little bit more quickly, and it just removes, chances for them to get healed up, basically. Because I've seen it a lot, it's particularly for Winston players. You'll see the Winston, like, tasing someone to death, and then suddenly, when they're at, like, 3 hit points, Moira comes over, sprays on them, and then they don't die anymore, and the Winston's like, come on, Tesla cannon! Whereas if he just punched the guy, he would have finished him off, and then he wouldn't have gotten healed back up. Similar things can happen to Zarya, but if you're high energy, it kinda doesn't matter as much, because the beam's just gonna murder you really quickly regardless, but she's one of those heroes where, like, punching someone or right-clicking them to finish them off, it makes it less likely they're gonna survive if you can swing it. We actually never actually had to use Graviton that round, did we? So, hey, worked out in the end. Oh, there goes Orisa, so that's a good start to things, isn't it? We just gave that lady a lot of energy right there, so we go on her, you know, whatever, fair enough, she's over here by herself, stop firing. We fired a few more times into her right there. And, oh god, it's not someone we want to get into a fight with as D.Va, because it's not a matchup we're particularly favored in, unless the Zarya is, like, low charge, in which case, no big deal, she's gonna tickle us. But if Zarya has got, like, a decent amount of charge, then all that's actually gonna happen is she'll do a lot of damage to us, and we'll feed her a lot of ult charge. D.Va's one of those heroes, her and Roadhog, you've got to be really careful, like, what you decide to do, because you can end up giving the enemy team a lot of ult charge if you don't position well, which basically means play around shields and corners as much as possible, like play around cover, because D.Va can feed the enemy team a lot of ult charge, so can Roadhog. So Reaper's over there, that's upsetting. Yep, he's gonna take our mech. We shouldn't be standing like this far up anymore, because right now, both our healers are dead. You can see up in the kill feed, both our healers died. So there's no winning this fight's gonna happen in the near future. So we should just back up further, especially since we just saw Reaper was right there, so he might come back again, which he did, so we should have just been backing up at that point. Both the supports were dead. Nothing was going to happen. We had to wait for them to get back, really, anyway, so we should just back up to make sure that can't happen to us. Now you got Reaper running after us. Reaper's going to spin, only on Orisa, basically, so not a great use of company resources, but it's what he decided to do. It is unfortunate they have a Reaper, because, no tank is very good at killing Reaper. You know, no tank is good at that one. So, we boosted on to the point. When did we boost here? We didn't need to boost right here. This just got us to the point a little bit faster. But, like, it didn't accomplish anything other than that, really. We could have just walked over here, and it would have been a difference of 1.5 seconds-ish, you know? Which is not a big deal. And then this can't happen to us. Because we know they've got a Roadhog, right? So, and an Orisa. So boosting onto the point like that, it just opens up to us up to more risk. We want to minimize risk as much as possible. Also, if we use it like that, then if we see somebody out of position in the next period of time, we won't be able to use the boosters to, like, go on them. Because that's the cool thing about D.Va, is she does a lot of burst damage. So if you spot somebody out of position, you know, you can boost up to that person, fire your rockets, fire at them as you're going in, and then just punch them. Do a huge amount of damage. So if we just boost on to the point just to get there faster when we're already pretty close, we can't do that either. So it opens us up to more risk, and if we see an opportunity in that period as well, we won't be able to take advantage of it. So there was no need to boost onto the point, is the moral of the story. So we should have come around this corner with Defense Matrix up, because we've just seen Mercy get snatched in front of our eyes. So we know she's about to take damage. So we should have just come around the corner, like, Defense Matrix already up to try and get her out. And, like, realistic, oh my god. Lucio's probably feeling a little targeted. That would have been sick if it pinned him in the corner. But, this is a very bad place to throw self-destruct. Because suddenly, it can only really work in a very specific angle now, can't it? Which is, it's not going to work behind the walls or below that angle. So it's got a pretty limited window now, and most of them are already safe from it. So this is a very bad angle to do it on. But if we pinned Lucio in that corner, he would have been tilted for probably the rest of his life, actually. So it would have been worth it in that regards, but that was a very bad angle to throw the self-destruct in at. Especially given that we haven't got a lot of time left, so getting as much value out of our ult as possible suddenly becomes pretty important. So we managed to call another mech. We're not looking good on this one. Nope, we're done. We're done right there. And nobody's gonna make it back. Yep, that's it. That's it. We see play of the game? We see play of the game. Who would have got play of the game? It was probably Roadhog or Orisa, because I'm pretty sure they got a few environmental kills back-to-back at one point. Or like an environmental kill and another kill. It's someone. It was Orisa. Well, not where I thought it would have been. Oh, okay, I see. That makes sense. Alright. I was like, really? Alright, she killed the Valkyrie. Fair enough. Whatever. So there you go. What have I got to say about that one? So, what stood out the most was basically just using our barriers as Zarya. Doing a lot of predictive barriers that resulted in, like, hopeful barriers that just didn't result in a lot of energy gained, which is always very unfortunate, because most of playing Zarya revolves around getting energy, because if you don't have energy, you aren't a damaging enough presence to actually create space, because if Zarya is going to create space, she has to be, like, physically threatening and imposing to people, right? Which is dependent on having energy, because she needs to actually be able to damage people. And also, Zarya's ultimate's really good, and if you can't build up energy, then you aren't going to build up your ult anywhere near as fast. So, all aspects of Zarya basically revolve around building energy, so it's pretty important. I can't think of one specific thing for D.Va that really stood out to me. We didn't really use Defense Matrix that well, but to be honest with you, there weren't that many opportunities to use it particularly well, I feel like. There was the Mercy right at the end, but I can't think of any other, like, big opportunities that we didn't Defense Matrix, or try to anyway. Yeah, so that's what I got for you right there. So thank you very much for watching if you did. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer. If you haven't already, you can join our Discord and ask questions more directly and have a conversation about them, or just shitpost with us. If for some reason you enjoyed the video and managed to make it all this way through, please like the video and subscribe for more content of middling quality in the future, and I hope you found the video helpful.